Hello, church. Welcome to another episode of DCC Daily. My name is Monica Sanchez, and I get the pleasure of serving as the Hope Program Director here at Downtown Community Church. Today, I'm super jazzed to talk about the practice of Sabbath. This is a practice that has, on a earthly level, brought me a lot of sanity, but on a spiritual level, closeness to God. When I was in college, my roommates and I would subconsciously, but most likely on purpose, get into these I'm busier than you competitions. I know you know what I'm talking about. It's the, oh, I have 2 tests this week. Oh, well, I have 2 tests and a paper this week. Well, I have 3 tests and 4 papers. These conversations were so ridiculous because what was the prize supposed to be? Exhaustion? Dissatisfaction? Congrats, you're sleep deprived now. When I think about these years in college, I recognize a trend within society. As humans in this modern age, we are absolutely consumed and occupied by doing and going, never stopping to think about what we're doing or where we're going. We're running on our little hamster wheels with no end in sight, and we have taken the good thing that is the drive to efficiently do the work before us and made it the ultimate thing that fuels us. We've wrapped up our worth completely in how packed our weeks are or how many things we get to cross off of our to-do lists. As a society, we are worshiping at the golden calf of productivity, and what is left are just shells of human beings. This is not how God intends for us to live. Genesis 2:2 says, "By the 7th day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the 7th day, he rested from all his work." Here in the first pages of the Bible, the first moments of the creation of the whole world, we see God rest. He sets the example for what he then asks his people to do. In Exodus 20:10-11, God commands, "The 7th day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work. For in the 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea and all that is in them. But he rested on the 7th day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy." And I cut out some of that middle section there, but it also says, not even the animals can do work. Sabbath is derived from the Hebrew word Shabbat, which means to stop or to rest. Sabbath is an invitation to stop the work, stop the busyness, and just rest. Not only is God inviting us and giving us permission to rest, it's an invitation to rest in his presence. God created Sabbath as a gift to humanity. It's a day to stop, slow down, and enjoy his presence. The practice of Sabbath in an age of finding our value and our worth in productivity is very countercultural. Because we've sacrificed ourselves at this idol of productivity, the idea of a whole day with no work sounds impossible. But it is possible, and I can't encourage you guys enough to try to implement these rhythms of rest into your weekly routine. People will say that there's a proper way of when and how to Sabbath. I'm not denying that. I'm not rejecting that. It's very valid, and if you have the time, I encourage you to look into that. But for our purposes, I wanted to make this as accessible and simple as possible because like anything new we do, we have to work on it before we get good at it. So we have to work on how to Sabbath before we actually get really good at Sabbathing. So here's some advice to heed and steps to take as you begin to implement this practice into your weekly routine. If you have a pen, maybe jot some notes down. First, you have to pick a day. We have different jobs, different work hours. Just find a consistent day where you don't have work and make that your Sabbath day. Next, once you've selected a day, you have to spend the days leading up to it, the 6 days leading up to it, intentionally preparing for it. I go as far as letting those around me know that I'm taking a Sabbath day, so if they need me, they'll have to wait till the next day for it to be done. On the day of, I can't stress this part enough, on the day of, please spend intentional time with God, even extended time alone with God. Add an extra layer of without distractions. Go to a different room. Leave your phone in a different room. Go to a quiet place and just listen to God and talk to God. On the day of, don't do any work. Don't refresh your email. Don't text your coworkers. Don't even think about it. And lastly, on the day of, do the things that you love. Eat a really big breakfast that leaves you with a food coma. Pick up that book that you started 4 months ago, 3 months ago, and maybe finish it. Go outside, enjoy the day. One of my favorite things to do on my Sabbath is a dinner with my closest friends, and we call it Shabbat dinner. And we eat dinner together, we occasionally play a game, and we just talk for hours unrushed. If you haven't heard anything else, please, please, please take a day off, enjoy God, and enjoy the day. God doesn't want mindless, overworked saints clocking in and out. He wants us to have a day of rest so that we can spend the other 6 days of the week as well-functioning, filled-up followers of Christ, pouring out love and truth to those around us. Thank you for listening to this episode of DCC Daily. Keep up with our church via our social media pages, our YouTube channel to access previous sermons, and our Sunday services both online and in person. My hope and prayer is that weaving in a Sabbath or just moments of intentional rest into your weekly routine will open up opportunities to experience our Heavenly Father in new and life-changing ways.